It wasn't on my bingo card. Meeting an entirely new wife in part 3 of the season 20 tell-all.
What do you mean?
Janelle, or whoever that showed up pretending to be Janelle.
Oh my gosh, I know. It's like one minute she's moving across the country, she's done with him, washed her hands. The next minute she's on here gushing and defending him.
I did not like it. And then when we get into the Sparkle D,
I wanted to gag.
well, grab your barf bags. Season 20, episode 18, one-on-one part 3. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With a host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Welcome to Remote Reality. I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host who loves to overanalyze everything, including my favorite reality TV shows.
And I'm Dee, her paralegal and smartass sidekick and co-host.
And one of the only people in real life that actually watches the same shows as me. Although I have drugged you into 90 Day and Traitors. The only show we used to watch together was Sister Wives.
Yeah. I was a Real Housewives. I watched some of those. Pretty much Orange County.
I do love some Real Housewives.
Yeah, I do too. I used to watch Below Deck years ago. I haven't seen that in forever, but it's still on.
It's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm so glad, though, that the channel surfers are here watching our shows with us. I had a party last night and everybody was talking about Stranger Things. If I say Sister Wives, I get crickets, except for one of my friends who's a Kody and Robyn apologist. So when I brought that up, I got a whole earful about how Janelle was pushing the sale. She just wanted to be selfish and get her money back and buy this property in North Carolina. She's the one that probably came up with the backdoor plan. And then I was like, yeah, but her plan was still to pay Meri back. And she's like, I don't understand any of that. And then she says that the women need to get over Kody, that she agrees the apology tour was just so they stop talking about him, but they need to stop talking about him. Which I said, yeah, I mean, I agree, but there's certain things you're not going to say nice about your ex, and you don't say anything about him because it's been a while, but you're also not getting paid to talk about him. So that's how it goes in real life. That is why we're so happy that you are here watching this with us. So we actually have somebody to talk to and comment with. And even when your takes are different, I'm not going to lie, I haven't stopped thinking about what my friend said the other day. So it's food for thought and we appreciate it. Last week, we told you we had 170 subs on YouTube. We are floored. We are absolutely floored. We're at 224 right now.
That's amazing.
I texted Dee yesterday. We were at 214. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us and like watching the shows. I feel like we found our people.
We have our group. It's like
This
our
is the
little
most
network
fun.
of reality people.
We're sitting here avoiding doing the law work and chatting with our favorite people. So thank you so much for being here. If you have not subscribed, click right here. If you're a Sister Wives fan, 90 Day Fiancé fan, Traitors, Love is Blind, that is the one show that all my friends watch. But click here for that link and subscribe and join us. Share with your friends who like these shows. We're trying to figure out what to do next. We've tossed around maybe Real Housewives. I don't know. Well, also just like we're so busy with everything at work that we'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, this is our busy season.
It's our busy season. It's when people are ready to get out of the debt when they get their tax refund. All right. So season 20, one-on-one tell-all part 3. Not as good as one-on-one part 1 and 2. This has been my least favorite of the tell-alls.
Yeah, hopefully it's leading up to like a really spectacular fourth one.
Oh, I hope. Fingers, toes, bra straps, everything's crossed.
Yes.
Bra
straps.
That's it all. So we pick up where we left off last week. The whole Kody told Christine, I used to love you, which my friend also thought this was very stupid. She thinks everything Christine does is very stupid. But yeah, this is absurd to her. I agree. I don't get it.
Yeah. I think we talked about that last week too. We do not understand what the big deal is about this.
Wonder if this is her first foray into monogamy. Maybe her expectation of what monogamy is supposed to be like would be that I don't know. You never loved anybody in the past. I have no idea. I don't know what Christine or David are thinking.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I don't
But
have
David's
any.
upset about it too.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I have no problem saying I used to love somebody. There's no shame in that. I don't think it's
No.
disrespectful if people have moved forward and are with other people to hear somebody else say, I used to love that person. I mean,
Right. And that's a part of their story that
mhm.
shapes who they are. I don't get why it's so scandalous. I mean, do you think Christine needed to believe that Kody didn't love her to move on? Like maybe part of her healing was convincing herself that he never loved her?
No, I think all of them knew that Kody loved them. They had children together. I think they all knew that it was just BS when he was saying it, that he was angry. So, no, I don't really think that. For me personally. Yeah, I think somebody's just got David's panties in a wad.
Well, that somebody is Kody. And David, for the record, we don't need to hear you telling us about Kody giving anyone a good release. Maybe he gave David a good release. Maybe that's why Christine's mad. I don't think those women ever got a good release.
I don't either.
You don't see anybody trying to stay except Robyn.
Yeah, nobody's fighting to stay with him.
More confusing to me is how we have 4 adults
Mm-hmm.
who all understand that there's this notion if the spouse is there, that makes saying you used to love the person okay. Robyn says the reason that Kody gave the apology in front of David was out of respect, because if David was there, then it was respectful. She says this after Christine and David are like, you should have just said sorry. We didn't need the details. I'm sorry, Robyn, but you are Cody's spouse and you weren't there when he said it. So this was to show David respect, but where's the respect for you, Robyn?
Yeah, it's a total contradiction.
Just say what it was. Kody went on an apology tour to try to get people to stop talking smack about him. You didn't come because they wouldn't have anything nice to say to you. Trust me, it's not going to help to bring the bees into the house, bring the beehive right in.
Yeah, that's a good point. It probably would not have gone well if she was there because she would have probably started doing her dumbass Kody splaining shit.
She's been Cody splaying so much, I don't even know what Robyn's saying half the time.
I don't think Robyn knows what she's saying.
She's drunk on that Cody sparkle.
She's the only one getting a release.
No, release me from this conversation. No. Robyn, though, she doesn't get why Christine would be offended. I don't get why she would be offended by Kody saying he used to love her, but I get why she would be offended that he's there apologizing, wasting her time in an effort just to change his public persona, to try to get her to stop talking bad about him. I mean, that could have been a text message. And honestly, Kody, it doesn't matter what you say. They're still going to talk all the trash they want. They've earned it.
It's just views. I think he is highly underestimating his attraction to people watching this show. We're not buying it. We're just not buying it.
Just go sell that load of shit to Robyn. We don't want it. Robyn thinks, though, it was necessary for him to say that. I think because in their minds, that's what hurt the most, is that Kody wouldn't love one of them. Like Robyn couldn't imagine a bigger pain than her checkbook walking away with Kody. The way she explains this, it's like, it was just so wrong of Kody to say he didn't love her. It really wasn't a truth. So basically, you're telling us Kody is a liar. Like, what's the nicest way to call my husband a liar? It's really not the truth.
It's just a bunch of
Just call it what it
word
is.
salad. Just
He's a liar. You're a liar.
Yeah. If it's an ass, call it an ass. Walk like a duck. Talk like a duck. It's a duck. It's a duck.
I'm starting to think that Janelle might be stretching the truths a little bit around here.
You know, I caught a couple of things that were inconsistent or contradictory to each other. So I'm curious to see if anybody else caught those contradictions as well.
Kody went to Janelle first with these apologies because she's not combative. Really, Janelle, she's not combative because she just doesn't care. She doesn't care about anything. She's like laid back.
Yeah. The less that you care about something, you're definitely not going to be combative or argumentative. You're just going to let them say whatever and that's it. You don't care.
His tell-all, Kody says that the only wife that isn't high maintenance was Janelle, but she's not low maintenance. Janelle is no maintenance. I feel like Janelle always has had this air about her where she doesn't need a man. And I mean, it's good to feel on some abs every once in a while, get pounded a little bit, but
Yeah, Janelle's the perfect person for a boy toy.
she is.
She's the perfect person to have a boy toy.
That's probably what she's doing right now. She doesn't want to date. She just wants a few hookups every once in a while.
That's
Somebody
what
to
I do.
lay her straight.
Yep, smack that ass and send them home.
Yeehaw. Back to the farm. Well, she had the honor of being the first wife that Kody apologized to. It's okay. Like, I'm honored that you don't come. More of an honor just to hear it by text.
She's probably honored that she can just get it done and over with.
I thought this was interesting. Kody says he made it right on all of their property agreements. And one of the channel surfers pointed this out in the comments. Thank you. I missed this part. They talk in so many circles that I get confused. Like, and I'm sitting here taking notes. Although we're also like trying to get the podcast out the same day that we're watching it. And we have like a bunch of real work to do. But I missed it. And I'm so glad that you guys caught it. I don't think that they ever said he paid Janelle back. They just made it right.
Yeah, that would be a very good play on the words.
I do not like that Kody tricked me.
Yeah, because it implies that it was paid back, but it was not said that way.
And the fact that I was tricked by Kody implies that I'm a moron.
No, it's just Monday. We're tired. We're slow
That's our
going.
excuse
It's
every day.
freezing here in the damn South. We're cold.
I'm a fool. I got fooled by Kody.
I'm giving you an out. Take it.
No, I'm going to wear this badge of shame. Anyway, that flash to Kody and Janelle having dinner. As they're watching this, Kody is talking about the affection that they want shared and that he needed to protect their special space. Meri is watching this and she looks dejected. Like, Kody has never said he had a special space with me.
He's treated Meri like shit.
She looks like shit here. She looks like deflated.
Yeah. Bless her heart.
Kody even says later that Meri had her heart wide open, but like he loved Janelle more.
He said that Meri was more emotionally accessible and Janelle wasn't.
But that he felt more affection toward Janelle.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking, well, he likes it hard to get.
Which is exactly right up Janelle's alley as far as her personality.
She's not hard to get. You just can't read her because she doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's like, I gotta make this woman care. Whereas Meri is like emotionally open. What did you think it meant?
Well, yeah. I think that someone like Meri who's emotionally open, if a guy prefers to be chasing somebody, they kind of take advantage of someone who is not advantage. They take for granted someone who's emotionally open and easy to be in a relationship with.
And Kody takes the women for granted as time goes on. And then he gets a new wife that he needs to impress and ignores the other ones.
That's his
because he's already won that. Interesting.
Yeah. That's my thoughts anyway.
Robyn, while they're talking, at first it looks like she's laughing and then she stops and just looks very serious and then almost kind of scared. This is while Kody is talking about needing to keep Janelle safe. I wonder if she realized, oh man, nobody was safe with me when I was there. Kody, remember our script. Don't make me look bad.
She sees him going off of script a little bit and she's starting to get a little concerned.
I did not approve this part of the conversation.
Reel it back in.
Laughing along like, haha, we got her. Oh no. Reel it back in, Kody. Reel all of it back in. She was probably a little worried that they were gonna go explore that sparkle after that apology.
Can you see her? She's probably sitting there going, listen, Kody, I'm a woman and you need to listen to what I'm saying because they will respond to what I'm telling you.
You're so right. This was probably the Robyn apology tour as much as the Kody apology tour.
Yes. Yes. And if this starts to happen, back away. Don't do that.
And instead of going with him, she just made him memorize everything he was supposed to say.
Mm-hmm. He probably had it on his notes section on his phone.
They've been planning this for years. They're finally ready for their big scene,
He's got a cheat sheet on his phone.
which is why he's like, I'm just going to talk right through it. We are not going to be stopped because if he gets off track, he's going to forget his words. So he's like, I'm just going to keep apologizing.
Well,
Doesn't
he's
matter
not
what
gonna-
you say.
He's not going to know what to say if he gets off track.
It all makes sense. It's a plan. Now, for this Janelle and Kody throwback, Christine just looks disgusted,
Mm-hmm.
especially when Kody is talking about how it is an honor that Janelle gets to be the first. Christine's almost like, that's an honor I'm glad to not be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
So after that scene, Suki, she's like, it looks like you're processing a lot, Kody, because there was a lot thrown out there. Kody, you just never stop. You know, I get it. I never stop too. I'm rambling right now.
Blah, blah, blah.
Then Suki mentions how both Kody and Janelle were unsafe when they first got married. What the heck was Meri doing?
I thought it was a very interesting choice of words. That unsafe is strong. That's a strong word to use.
I usually think it's just their emotional therapy talk. Like, my next door neighbor is a therapist, and one of her friends is a therapist who I just found out on Saturday, like sister wives. While I was talking to my Robyn apologist friend, she was actually sitting on the other side of her, listening to the conversation, and I could see her face. Like every time I was saying something, she's nodding her head yes. And then my other friend, she's looking at her like, what did she say? She's a
No.
therapist. Yeah.
I am immediately thinking when I hear unsafe as physical, not just emotional, but physical.
But they use it all the time. Like, this needs to be a safe space.
Yeah, but safe space sounds emotional to me, where the use
Right.
of unsafe does
Well, this-
not.
I agree. Like,
Yeah.
what's happening? Is
Like, is
Meri
she kicking
sleeping
the
with a
shit-
knife under her pillow?
She kicking the shit out of them? Like, are they waking up with, dead chickens under the beds or something? I don't know.
It could
Some
be like the
voodoo shit?
cabin in Traders.
Yeah.
She has like a clown outfit and she comes in and
Mhm.
pops the balloon, starts dumping bugs in their bed. I could see Meri doing that. Yeah. I think she's wearing a clown outfit. I bet she was walking around in a clown outfit with a balloon. And whenever Janelle would fuck up the dishes, she'd pop it. Thing with safety, at one point, they're talking about how there wasn't enough protection. They should have used more protection. I was like, are we talking about raw dogging it, an unwrapped wiener? What is happening? I don't know. I started to get lost in this conversation. I saw Janelle making little googly eyes at Kody back in the flashback, and everything is forgiven and so understanding of him, and
Fucking kumbaya.
kumbaya. I was floating out of there.
I think maybe Robyn should be worried. Last week he was saying that he loved Janelle. This week we got her gushing.
Gosh, don't talk about Janelle gushing.
Do not cave, Janelle. You've come too far.
First, we talk about Kody's releases, and now you're talking about Janelle. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that Kody talked about his empathy and that he had to have so much empathy, and he was trying to make all of his wives happy. And he just got sick of worrying about everybody's happiness.
And this is when he's just talking about Meri and Janelle, correct?
I don't know if it was just them or also Christine, because they were talking about the early years, which Christine eventually becomes part of the early years.
Right.
I would assume the early years are before Robyn, BR,
Mhm.
and after Robyn, AR. So I think we're talking before Robyn. I don't know.
Because I thought most of the conversation was about the dynamic between him, Meri, Janelle, when they were discussing the unsafe and that stuff.
And then trying to make everybody happy. It was just him trying to make two women happy.
Yeah, because I thought my response was, and he thought the solution was to add more wives.
Well, that's still the solution even after Christine.
True. Yeah. This was broke from the beginning.
First of all, you can't make someone else happy, but they have chosen an unhappy situation, which becomes a big conversation in this episode, how they're sacrificing and suffering for salvation. So they've chosen an unhappy situation. You can't make them happy.
Well,
but then again, you don't have to make them absolutely miserable by being a bad communicator and ignoring them and telling them you're never going to have sex with them again. And
my understanding when he was talking about that stuff is the wives are told that they need to endure and suffer. So they're not allowed to talk about what makes them unhappy. They're just supposed to be happy and not express that unhappiness.
Which is why they all come down on Meri when they look at her apology a little later in the episode, because she is expressing unhappiness. So the solution to this is just make them more miserable with another wife.
Just add another sister wife. Misery likes company.
He just wants to get that planet when he dies. Like, look, y'all are going through this. I'm going to keep finding women so that we have a really nice eternity. The more, the better in the end.
When you guys get unhappy, I'm just going to add another piece of ass.
But remember, it's for your heaven. Now, Janelle started saying she thought the apology was very sweet and sincere. And it brought up this old connection that she calls nostalgia. It didn't look like nostalgia.
Listening to her, you mean?
Even just looking at her face.
Yes. This is the gushing part, I think. This is what I meant when I said she was gushing all over him at the apology.
Oh, now, yeah, Janelle, she's so even toned that gushing is just so much coming from her. If Christine was gushing, it would feel normal. But it's Janelle. So it feels really intense. But on the lines of nostalgia, she was surprised to hear him apologize about the early years. And I think that's what made it seem genuine to her, is that it wasn't just recent things. He started apologizing for things that never happened on camera and seemingly taking accountability for it in order to apologize. Although if she had tried to say anything like any of the other wives and interrupt his script that he made up with Robyn, then who knows what we would have gotten. Then Suki asks, how did Janelle come into the family? And we get the positions of Suki, Kody, and Meri. I mean, Janelle, Kody, and Meri. We're giving them to Suki. Janelle at first says that Meri and Kody both pursued her, I guess. She started leaning into fundamentalism. She was around Meri's family. And later on, she says that she asked to join the family.
Two different things.
It feels different. Meri and Kody both pursued me, I guess, but then I asked to join the family. Unless Meri pursuing Janelle was playing the long game and getting her brother to marry Janelle to introduce her to Kody, which I don't think is what happened, because Meri's real freaked out by this.
Which we find out. Yeah, I can't. After listening to Meri, I can't believe that she was interested in pursuing Janelle at all to add to their family.
I don't think she was. Janelle, first time she sees Kody, I don't know. She's probably going over to Meri and Cody's house with her husband, Meri's brother. They didn't say all that, but I'm just imagining. She walks in, she sees Kody. She's like, I know this guy.
Where have you been all my life?
I've met him before.
That kind of connection.
Are you sure? It wasn't like, that's a red flag. Well, don't. You know this guy. It's that kind of guy. That's a red flag.
I was just thinking to myself, Janelle, that's horny, honey. That's what horny means.
That's that sparkle. The sparkle that her and Kody had was horniness.
It
was lust.
That's your loins.
And she said she just tucked it away and forgot about it because she didn't know what to do with it. She knew what to do with it. She put that in her spank bank and went home and enjoyed herself.
Revisited that memory.
And then she decided that she wanted Cody's finger-sized dick to see what that felt like because,
She wasn't getting it at home.
well, she was tired of clicking her own mouse.
That'd be kitty.
So what do you do? What do you do in this situation when you feel a sparkle about a married guy and you try to push it out of your mind, but it doesn't go away? Well, first you divorce your husband. And then since this new guy is married to your husband's sister, ex-husband's sister, you just stay really close to the family. Just keep hanging out with your in-laws so that you're around so you can accidentally bump into Kody. And then convince Kody that maybe he feels a little spark too. And then let's go to the spiritual leaders, get that stamp of approval. And then we're gonna fast and pray. So we're gonna all starve until we agree that Janelle gets to marry Kody. Now, Meri, I mean, she's not gonna agree to all terms and conditions. They're not getting married on her birthday.
Which is what they
starved to
wanted.
death before that happened.
Which is what they wanted to do, by the way.
Which is what they wanted to do. Do that and pretend like it doesn't happen. I think it was notes to self for a long time ago that said, it was somebody that said that these marriages happen like a certain day of the month. So it's not like you can pick any day for the wedding. You have to pick one of the allotted times. Kody wanted to get it in.
And
You don't
Janelle
wanna
wanted to,
wait.
she wanted to permanently be able to join that ride, but there
Meri,
is no way.
Kody just wanted some birthday sex. He didn't want it with you, but he wanted birthday sex.
I just have to say, I'm on Meri's side on this. No way. No way you're going to get married on my
Be a
birthday.
good sister wife, Meri. Suffer. Let your husband have the
Endure.
birthday sex.
Endure.
Endure. I mean, apparently the ghost talking to her couldn't even convince her. The spiritual whispering.
Could you imagine if they had got married on her birthday?
Him.
Every year, he'd be like, well, Meri, I'm going to go have birthday sex with Janelle. It's our honeymoon.
Probably
Happy
did
birthday,
anyway.
baby. Happy birthday, baby.
That's what he's done with Robyn for the past 5 years for everybody's birthday.
I know. Happy birthday. I'm going to go have sex with Robyn.
It's like we're having sex on October 11th. Doesn't even realize it's Gabe's birthday.
Everybody's birthday, he has sex with Robyn.
Remember when he called him and he was like mad about the whole Garrison and Gabe not being nice to Robyn?
Yeah.
And then he called back. He's like, oh, yeah, happy birthday.
Dick.
Yep. I bet Kody had some birthday sex that day. Him and Robyn love to celebrate.
We're terrible.
Not us.
It's them.
We're just speaking the truth. I wonder what this looks like, though. Them all sitting together, praying and fasting, trying to get an answer as to whether Robyn is coming into the family. I mean, this just sounds like some really hangry people.
I would be hangry.
I don't think that would ever get me out of the hostage situation. It's
Yeah.
more like feed me cookies and then I might agree. I might submit to it.
I was thinking, hand me a Snickers bar because, they got those Snicker commercials where here, you need to have a Snickers and they turn into back
If
to
you want to
normal.
change my mind, you're going to need to feed me. Thanks.
Yeah.
But Janelle, that whole contradiction about how the meeting went, I was like, Janelle, are we playing loose and fast with the truth? I actually believed Meri more here. Meri, she said it was really weird that she had a conversation with Kody about how strange it is that she's Eskimo sisters with his ex-wife, with her brother's ex-wife. And Kody just made her feel like she was wrong to have those feelings.
She was not being a perfect wife by expressing those feelings.
Because she wasn't going to endure. I hope that Janelle douched between her brother and Kody.
And with you, I think that Meri had legitimate concerns and emotional issues about it. I wouldn't have wanted to do something like that.
No. I mean, no. No question. No.
And it might explain some of the issues that her and Janelle had early on and why such small things like dishes or towels would become big things.
Well, it seems like there were a lot of small things because Janelle says it was the dishes. It was some food got in the sink and Meri didn't like it. So Janelle's like, all right, Here you go, Meri. I'm going to shove this whole damn turkey down the sink. Deal with that. Then, like, does Meri even know she's putting extra food in the sink? I don't get it.
Oh,
She's
chocolate cake.
just like, wanted some of that cake? Well, didn't save any for you. It's in the sink.
Mhm.
Then Suki goes to Meri and she's like, oh, yeah, I was talking about some of these little arguments that you and Janelle used to get into. And Meri just starts jumping in with things that Janelle didn't talk about. Like,
Mhm.
oh, were you talking about how she folded towels? Oh, no. Okay, let me guess. Is it because dishes? Because she liked to do them in the morning, and I thought it was better for us to just do it at night so we could sleep in and not worry about it. Oh, so it wasn't that either. Shoot. Like, don't let her keep talking. She could probably go on for days about all the nitpicky stuff she did to Janelle.
No wonder they wanted an NDA out of her.
Janelle, who's like, doesn't care what happens. But Meri is like, do them before you go to sleep. I'm going to beat your butt for not doing these dishes, right?
Bitch, you ain't sleeping tonight until them dishes are done.
Kody and I are keeping you awake.
Yeah.
Meri does acknowledge now, though, that it was petty. It was just a
Mhm.
symptom of the struggle of creating a joint family and doing it with your ex-sister-in-law. Now, there's some polygamous couples that like married sisters.
Be so weird too. Because, typically I have a sister. I do not have any brothers. But there's always a little bit of competition between sisters. Just growing up, it's just naturally there.
I think
I could-
siblings have competition. I don't feel it, but my brother feels in competition with me. I'm the older one.
Yeah, I'm the oldest too. So I couldn't imagine trying to share a man.
Well, I couldn't imagine that anyway, which is why I like this show so much. Makes you think.
No, I meant sharing a man with my sister. Like, I can't imagine that.
I know, but could
at
you
all.
imagine sharing a man with anybody?
No, I wouldn't do it.
If you want my Rob, you can take him. No, I'm not kidding. Who wants him?
No offense, Rob. She can keep you.
All right. So you're sharing a husband and you and sister wife get into a fight. Kody, his strategy is back out slowly, go right into that bush and hide in the hedge like you're not even there. Like, don't come looking at me. Y'all resolve this. What did you think?
It probably actually, I know you disagreed. I thought it was probably actually a good strategy because somebody's going to get mad at him as soon as he steps in because one is going to think that he took the other side depending on what he says. So, me personally, I think, yeah, backing out and staying out of it's probably the best thing to do.
I don't think you should play referee by any means. Referee means you're taking sides, but these are your wives. You're what they share in common. I think you sit down with them and you don't take sides. You just help them in the conversation. Like, if somebody starts getting mad, like, no, she doesn't mean anything bad by this. We are just, look, we're a
Right.
family. Just be like their cheerleader.
Right. Yeah.
But to back out just takes the whole reason they're connected is you. So why are you removing yourself from this situation?
I don't think that he should take sides at
No.
all.
No.
But I think he was right in thinking that there might be a perception that he would be taking a side if he got in the middle of it. That, because,
depends on how
just-
he gets in the middle.
just arguing. I can remember arguing with my teenage daughter, and I can say one thing and how she could miraculously twist what I had just said into something that didn't mean anything that I just said. So that's what I'm seeing is you've got two women fighting, and no matter what he says, one of them could potentially take it that he's taking someone else's side.
So he's just not going to try. And he's like, you two deal with it.
That would have been my advice. I don't know.
Yeah, but they're never going to work it out.
Listen, this is really hard because we're thinking about a polygamous family and two wives and, just dealing with
Two
arguments.
wives who both want a husband that is supportive of them. Like if you got in an argument with somebody, you told your husband about it.
Yeah. My husband's automatically going to take my side.
Oh, dang, I didn't know it worked like that.
Yeah, he's automatically going to take my side.
Mine isn't smart enough
He
to do
might
that.
tell me in private that I fucked up, but in public, he would have been dead on 100% my side.
It's just a lose-lose situation.
It's just a dynamic of relationships. And
I just don't like that he's what they have in common. He's the reason that they're trying to make things work, and he's just like, "Y'all deal with it. I'm the factor. I'm the reason you're here, but y'all deal with the issues it creates that I'm here."
Right.
Because it's really all over him. They're fighting because of jealousy over him.
Or pecking order.
Over him.
Yeah. Over him.
But he wants to bow out. What do you think, Channel Surfers? He's going to lose either way. I think he should get in there and lose.
True. That makes sense. I just, like I said, I just think of arguments I've had with my daughter, arguments with my kids in general, and trying to just, sometimes you just need to say, hey, you guys go handle it.
May the best man win.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Those are good odds. Those are not good odds. Maybe the odds don't need to be in your favor in this situation when your two polygamous wives are duking it out.
I can see Meri now, she's strapping up with a headband and, strapping
And then
on.
Janelle just walked up and arm bars, bars her and takes her out.
Combat gear.
Meri's jumping around like a bunny, and Janelle's just like, armbar, boom, KO. Now, Kody, he says that he knew he wasn't doing enough to reassure Janelle. Meri, he thought she was fine because she fought differently. But in hindsight, he realizes that they were both miserable.
Yeah, I genuinely think that he's sincere when he says that. I mean, you can kind of see it on his face. And it's very similar. I always thought he was sincere with Janelle's apology, not so much the other two, but he has the same look of like genuineness on his face when he's saying this. So yeah, I think he definitely is sincere about it.
Although Janelle said with Meri, they were picking at each other. So that's why they were fighting, because they always communicate like that. She always gets under his skin and vice versa.
Oh, Meri and Kody. Yeah.
Kody says that Meri is scrappy.
She's a mean bitch.
She'll throw down.
She could toe to toe.
You're scrappy, 2D.
Yeah.
You would make a good sister wife. You'd scratch somebody's eyes out.
I would not make a good sister wife.
I don't even make a good wife, so.
I'd probably be a pretty good friend to Meri, though. What'd you say?
I was like, I don't even make a good wife, so.
Little.
I might make a good sister wife. Here's somebody who will take care of you. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. I don't know. We're adults. We don't need somebody to take care of us. We take care of ourselves. So now Christine, she doesn't want to throw any lifestyles under the bus, but in plural marriage, most people she's seen aren't happy. And Christine says that you don't have this emotional intimacy in plural marriage. Now, this is interesting. David gives his experience with plural marriage. When he was like 2 or 3 years old, his sister was in a plural relationship. He's lived around people in Mexico that are in plural relationships. He's, I guess, worked with people that are in plural relationships. He's friends with people. So he's known it his whole life. And he's older than all of them. He hasn't lived it, but he's seen it his whole life. And his opinion is the women compete against each other for the man's attention, and that the guys like them competing, and that people are miserable. But what you see throughout this episode is everybody in this family has a different experience with plural marriage. Robyn's experience is different than Janelle's. Janelle's experience is different than Christine's. Christine's is different than Meri's. And they're all in the same family. So while you hear a lot of people in the family say that, David, he shouldn't be painting everybody with a broad stroke, he can't speak for everybody. Like, we can't even define your family in one way between 4 of you. Christine says at the end of the day, yeah, he's right. And I hear echoes of he's right when people are agreeing that, yeah, it's hard. And yeah, like we are having to try to figure out what we can do better. Okay, it's not competition, Meri, but you have to figure out how to be better to be loved. Like, how do I be Robyn? That's not competition. No, that's just trying to be Robyn.
Yeah, it sounded to me like they tried to find a lot of different ways to word competition without using the word competition.
So I thought that was just really interesting that we're going to see David taking an opinion about his experience with polygamy outside of it, but viewing from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear everybody else's experience in polygamy, and they're all different as well. So, yeah, you can't paint with a broad brush, but there's going to be some common themes to emotional intimacy and plural marriage. Christine, that wasn't her experience. Janelle did have emotional intimacy. Robyn says they all had emotional intimacy. She saw it. Robyn, if it was an intimate moment, then what were you doing like a fly on the wall watching it? I don't know that a third person can see emotional intimacy if Robyn is a voyeur in this. She didn't mind commenting on everybody's experience, though, and we don't hear Kody bashing Robyn for doing that. And then Meri agrees that it's difficult. Christine never felt like she was in the moment with Kody. Even when they were on vacation, she knew that the other wives were on his mind. Where Robyn, the other wives weren't on his mind. When he was with Robyn, he was lost in Robyn, hoping to never leave.
Completely different experience.
When Suki asked Robyn, does she agree with that the other wives say that you can't have emotional intimacy in a plural marriage? Robyn's like, I don't care what them bitches think anymore. Not my problem.
Well, she made sure of that.
Not to be rude, but I don't care about them. Not to be rude. Oh, that's the moment we're not going to be rude, Robyn. She should just start everything with not to be rude.
Yeah.
Kody said that he had enough emotional resources for all these women. Like his tanks were full, apparently, while they were knockout, drag out, having fights, and he decided to add one after the other. But the problem was they didn't want to accept the love. They're just too high maintenance. They didn't want to accept the love. Meri didn't stay around for a decade wanting to accept the love. Christine didn't ask you to put a door on her room and then was like, ooh, we can get down and boogie woogie to accept your love that you weren't going to physically give to her. What does he mean they didn't want to accept his love? Like, accept it the shitty way he wanted to give it to them?
I think that it's just the best way for Kody Brown to say it's not his fault. And it's just the stupidest shit. We all seen this, especially with Meri. Meri basically was a damn doormat for years, waiting for this guy to give her the attention that she wanted. For years.
Any attention.
That's not high maintenance. She's wide open waiting on it.
Well, Kody says that the only wife that's not high maintenance is Janelle, which, like we said, she's no maintenance. But you're right. That's not high maintenance. Wanting your husband to spend 1 out of every 4 nights with you. Meri's so not high maintenance that years went by where you're at Robyn's house and she's still waiting. Same with Christine and Janelle. The most high maintenance wife Kody has is Robyn.
Absolutely.
Who need for him to be around her kids all the time. And
who needs a damn nanny for her kids.
Thank you. Who needs 6-figure artwork to store in their garage. Who needs this gigantic house and then an even bigger house. Who is high maintenance? And is she not accepting your love? Well, she's surely accepting your money.
Honestly, she was pretty much getting all the love too. That's the reason why the other 3 were pretty empty.
Maybe she's not, because Kody seems to like the hard to get. So maybe she's not giving her love and just taking his money. She'll love me one day. Meri even said she would cry because she wanted more attention, which by attention, love. She wanted love.
That's so
but he probably
sad.
just twisted it into, oh, you're some high maintenance attention seeker.
You want me all the time, Meri. I can hear him now.
You're not suffering enough.
Endure, Meri, endure.
I'm going to go endure with Robyn. Indoors. Steen talks about how this religious expectation of having to endure and suffer, it basically was just a holy mess. And she's told David when she was having a bad time with Kody, she didn't want to see Kody having a good relationship with the other wives. David relates to this. He's had friends that said he likes for the women to be in competition. Now, I don't think that Kody liked for the women to be in competition. I think he didn't want them to have any emotion about what he was doing. He wanted to be able to live his life without their judgment. They just needed to be quiet and take it. So they're right. Kody is painting that with a broad brush because you could have someone that wants the competition or somebody who wants them to just submit and accept and stop bitching about it.
Mm-hmm.
David does say that in polygamy, the guy needs to have an ego. Kody undoubtedly has a gigantic ego.
Kody's probably the case study on psychology narcissism that's used on college campuses. I thought it was interesting that Kody really disagreed. He actually was a little agitated by the things that David had said about polygamy. But when every one of the women who have been married to him was asked if he had an ego, they all said yes.
Well, Janelle was like, yeah, but I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Meri, Christine were more annoyed by his ego.
Mm-hmm.
Annoyed by his ego. Robyn just looked pissed off.
As usual, the many faces of Robyn.
I mean, even when they're talking about suffering, Meri's like, suffering's supposed to make things better. And Robyn just looks pissed off. That bitch never suffered. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know the meaning of suffering.
Meri got to a point where she thought she did everything wrong, like even not being able to have a baby. And Robyn talks about how she knew that. So first thing to do was to go rub it in Meri's face, like as soon as somebody found out. So they'd hear it from them first.
Mm-hmm.
Give her more time to deal with it.
Yeah. Well,
She dealt with the pregnancy longer than everybody else.
Sugarcoated that with saying we wanted to give her time to get used to it so that it wouldn't be a shock before we told everybody else.
Because it's different if your friend's having a baby or if your husband is having a baby with someone else. But Robyn, she offered to be a surrogate for Meri, which was probably really easy to offer when do you think Meri was at the point in her life where she wanted a kid when she was just about to graduate the one that she had already raised? No. Easy to make that offer when it probably is not going to be accepted. It's like, but look, I'm the good wife. I agreed to suffer.
Angel.
Not my fault that she doesn't want it.
The epitome of righteousness and the moral compass.
Christine is thinking about what is the secret sauce that makes women share their husbands and think it's going to make them better. I think it's sperm and indoctrination. It's a cult. David says it's indoctrination, but David doesn't really get a say in it because according to Kody, he just knows what the boys at the construction yard talk about and that polygamists in construction are disgusting. All right, talk about painting everybody with a broad brush. Kody is just jealous. He is just jealous that Christine is married to a guy who owns a successful business that is construction adjacent or, I don't know, drywalling. That's part of construction. He's not one of those sexy construction guys from the 90s commercial with the Mentos.
I was actually a little bit pissed off by the statement because, as you know, my husband was construction worker and we raised our entire family on construction. And yes, they are a different breed, but the way Kody made it sound was just like they were like the bottom feeders, disgusting kind of workers. And I was just like, what an asshole.
He's grabbing for anything because he's the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, he's just jealous of David. I mean, most construction workers make damn good money. They're not some bottom feeders that he needs to stick his nose up in the air at.
I don't care how much money Kody makes. Couldn't pay me.
Well, I think that's I think the problem was
not Robyn.
Yeah, I think the problem was is that he assumed they were like,
He's not assuming anything about them.
He's just jealous because that's
like
what
D.
It's just what
do I
David
tell
does.
you when maybe we get a rude comment, right? Right? Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what Kody thinks about David. David's amazing, and Cody's just pissed.
He's
just pissed that he can't be amazing.
And
he's jealous, so he just has to.
Exactly. That's exactly what's wrong with him.
And he's just mad that everybody's speaking the truth about him, and it doesn't sound good because it's not. Now, Janelle, I feel like Janelle, first of all, she is no maintenance, so she probably didn't have as much conflict, or at least avoided it at all costs. I mean, she had it with Meri, but she was probably looking for anywhere to cut bait and get out of that fight.
Mhm.
I feel like she remembers a lot of the good things still.
Mhm.
So when David's making this broad brush statement about polygamy being miserable, Janelle is like, don't paint it with a broad brush because she's still thinking about the good times too. But obviously, at some point, it got bad because you left. Oh, you left. You moved all the way across the country to get away from the man.
3 of them are gone. 3 of them have left.
Right. But Janelle is sitting there like, oh, it wasn't, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all great either because you went to North Carolina. And you were thinking that she wanted to validate the time she spent in a relationship with Kody for so long.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them regret it. Even Christine says that she's glad she has her kids and her family.
I think all of them probably, just like with Meri when she was saying they weren't in competitions. I think it's a way around calling it what it really is.
It's just so strange that they don't want David to share his experience, even though it's not from the inside. Kody didn't even get into polygamy, though, until he was 18. David's older than him and has been around it his whole life. So it doesn't mean that he doesn't get to share his experience with it.
Right. Yeah. To say he doesn't know jack shit, I thought that was a little harsh.
You don't know Jack. I was like, I know Jack. He was my grandparents' neighbor. Really nice guy.
I know Jack and I know shit.
Was married to Virginia.
Sorry.
I know Jack Daniels.
And his friend Jim.
But David, he's like, look, this is just my experience. And it happens in monogamy and it happens in other religions too. It's not
exclusive.
Polygamy, but the majority of couples I see in polygamy, this is their experience. Whereas maybe in monogamy, they pretend to be happy. Just kidding. Happy.
I personally think that's where ego comes in. Most men can't. It's all they can do to keep up with one woman and trying to keep one woman happy. What kind of ego do you have to think that you can keep 3, 4, 5 women happy? I mean, seriously.
Well, and Janelle says it's confidence and leadership. And basically, I think she means it's not misogynistic, which I've seen Seeking Sister Wives. There are some husbands where I'm like, those women run laps around them in that house. Like, it's just too much of a job for one person to take care of this giant baby. So I agree. I don't know that ego has to be involved. Isn't ego involved for everybody? I guess it's just the level of ego.
Yeah, I mean,
are they meaning narcissism but saying ego?
Isn't there some kind of a saying where there's a fine line like between confidence and
arrogance?
Yeah, and I think that's where ego comes into
arrogance.
it. I think that ego has a lot to do with that. The higher the ego, the more.
I just thinking about there's like the id and the ego and psychology. I don't know.
We're not psychiatrists.
No, and I'm not going to try to make my Monday brain dig over 20 years ago to when I took a psychology
How about
course.
we can just say we can see an asshole when we can call it an asshole when we see an asshole. How's that?
Call it a Kody when you see a Kody.
Call it a Kody when you see a Kody.
One of those broad categories that David says is that the women feel like they have to compete for affection. Christine is like, yeah. Robyn's like, no, I don't have to compete. He just flocks to me. Meri says she competes, but in a roundabout way where she's saying she doesn't compete, but she just has to be a better person. And Janelle, she's too busy watching her favorite TV shows. She's not going to compete. Like, go ahead. I'm going to get my Stranger Things marathon on.
Yeah, I'm tapping out. I'm taking a glass of wine and Netflix and chill.
And David makes a good point. He says, like, men know it's hard to have children even though they've never done it.
I thought it was a great analogy.
But do you really think a man knows the pain of childbirth?
Absolutely not. But
actually, I don't know because I got an epidural.
I don't know either. Well, no, I can't say that because I went straight. I was in labor for 12 hours and then straight into an emergency C-section with nothing. So
I was in labor for 32 hours, but got the epidural before I went in for the induction.
Yeah, see, I wasn't allowed to have any of that crap.
But
I understand the point that he's trying to make.
You didn't even have it when they were cutting? Okay.
No, yeah, I had a
spinal.
Of course, they gave me a spinal, but I was in labor up until that point and felt everything until they did that.
So we see Meri and Kody talking, and Kody is disgusted with how Meri talked to him, of course. He doesn't want anybody challenging him or trying to mess up his script. Robyn, what do you think about Robyn?
I'm sorry. I'm totally distracted with my dogs right now because they're like all over me.
She's just like, yeah, it sounds like Meri and Kody. Janelle says that Meri and Kody pick at each other, so she kind of blames both of them. And then Christine, she is hooting, hollering, woohoo! Ooh, you just said that. She is all invested in this, just like us. She is so proud of Meri. Now, she wouldn't do this because she knows that it's not going to land with Kody, just like it didn't land with Kody with Meri. She's at least at a point where she isn't going to waste her breath saying anything because it's just going to antagonize him and it's not going to get anywhere. Why bother? But she said it would have been on, like when he said something about Meri's friends, because that was off limits. Christine does not think Kody should have said he doesn't have any room to say anything about Meri's friends. Now, Janelle says that if her friends have thoughts about him, he can have thoughts about them. I feel like Cody's thoughts about Meri's friends are just based on the fact that they don't like him.
Well, that's true, but I don't think Janelle was reading it correctly because the way I was taking it.
I don't know that Janelle was reading anything correctly. This is a different person.
Because of course, Kody can think what he wants about Jen or Meri's friends. The point he was making is he wanted her friends to quit talking bad about him. That's completely different.
Well, then
that's
call
completely
her
different. Yeah.
Go say it to their faces.
It's not him just having an opinion about her friends. He's going to her and saying, hey, your friends need to quit talking shit about me.
Why does he think Meri's going to go to her friends and tell them, my ex-husband wants you to stop doing this? Don't care. Don't owe you anything. If you want them to shut up, go to them.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Meri has been so mistreated for the last few years. She's not been shown any loyalty, and her friends are her people. They're the ones that are loyal to her. So absolutely she's going to pick them over his dumb ass.
She goes, why does Kody get Robyn, but I don't get anybody? He doesn't get to judge who my safe place to talk is, which is Jen. It's not up to him who I talk to. And I agree.
Yeah.
He doesn't get an opinion.
Yep.
Because she doesn't care about his opinion. That's how you stop him from getting an opinion, is you stop caring about his opinion.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter.
I say, go Meri, go Jen.
Cody says he would rather have sincere pushback with Meri during this argument than for her to go talk about him to her friends later. Yet, during the argument, he kept cutting her off and telling her, we can't talk about this because it's not going to get us anywhere. So he says he wants a sincere discussion, but during the discussion, Meri's begging to have a conversation, and he's like, no, it's not going to accomplish anything. Hypocrite. Just hypocrite.
I think that he was trying to set her up. I think he knew that telling her that he had a problem with her friends saying something, I think he knew it would trigger her. And I think he was trying to make her show herself on public TV and himself sit back like, why are you attacking me? All I want is for them to quit talking about me. And I think it completely backfired on him.
But he thinks he succeeded. He thinks that she's sitting there looking scrappy, and
I'm cheering her on.
I know, but Janelle's sitting there like, oh, I wouldn't act
Christine
like that.
was cheering her on. Christine was,
Christine was the only one besides all of us. And Suki. Suki was definitely the face said it all.
As far as I'm concerned, all of us are the only ones that matter.
And by all of us, we mean the channel surfer.
That's right. Everybody, the channel surfers.
Now, Kody, he tries to excuse why the apology seemed insincere. He was like, oh, it was just so awkward. We had only been talking through attorneys at that point. And Suki was like, well, the last tell-all, you said that was your favorite wife. But then he realized that she was talking shit about him too. He thought she was the only one who wasn't. But all of a sudden, she's reflecting on the relationship and realizing that Kody's scum and telling the truth. We thought Meri was under this Kody delusion, but now all of a sudden she sees the truth and not his favorite anymore. In retrospect, she didn't like him. He was an ass. So not his favorite.
That
We
happens when you
end with Suki saying, "What did she do to offend you?" And that is the cliffhanger for the next episode. Which answer? She realized you were a jerk. All right. Anything to add?
No, I think we covered everything.
All right, Channel Surfers. We tried to get that one out to you quick. We had lawyer work to do today. We filed a case. I had a doctor's appointment I had to go to. My son had a doctor's appointment. So I didn't get to watch this a good 3 times like I usually do. But it was definitely an interesting episode. And I really hope next week they end season 20 swinging. I hope, well, not literally swinging, but
I wouldn't mind.
I hope they rock our shoes off.
That's right.
Thank you for listening. And we will see you tomorrow with 90 Day the Other Way. Tell all. Bye.
Let's ride.